Oh, come on, Nicky V. You could have at least closed the door on your way out. What were you, raised in a barn? The nerve of some ponies you summon into your channel against their will, I swear. I mean, anyone could have just strolled in here and I never would have... Hi, voice?
Comics, now.
Wow! My very own narrator! Wow! Word balloons!
What?
It's a topic you have yet to talk about. A big part of the show's lore to some people.
Oh, well, yeah, there's no denying that. As someone who often explores the unvisited parts of MLP's story and world, I'm often told I should look at the comics because everything is explained there.
Well, I wouldn't say explained, rather expanded upon. Like, what happened to Queen Chrysalis after her candlelight wedding? Or what's a day in the life of Big Macintosh like? Or what if the Equestria we watch on television isn't actually the prime Equestria? Or what's Trixie been doing since she redeemed herself in Magic Duel?
Hold on, back up a bit. What was that part you said before?
What's Trixie been doing since Magic Duel? Well, funny thing, actually. She's actually been working in...
Really, voice? We're really gonna do this shtick?
Okay, fine. Party pooper. I said, what if the Equestria we've been watching since Season 1 was actually an alternate universe?
Alright, I'll bite. An alternate to what? The Equestria Girls world? 'Cause, I'm pretty sure that was an alternate universe to Doug.
But not that universe. I'm talking about the Mirror Universe in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic number 17 through 20, the Reflections arc, or as I call it, Crisis on Two Equestrias. It's a universe where Celestia and Luna are evil, Queen Chrysalis is the element of love, and King Somber is dashingly gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Alright then, spoiler alert, let's talk about a comic. So, if I got this right, you're saying that Evil Equestria is actually the canon universe, and the world we've been watching is just one of its offshoots?
Yes and no. Let's look at some of the evidence. The first big thing to look at is towards the end of issue 17 and going into issue 18. At the end of the issue, the main six, Spike and Luna, go to Starswirl the Bearded Sanctuary, discovering a mirror similar to that from Equestria Girls. Celestia then emerges from the mirror, broken, beaten, and scarred, from what appears to have been an intense battle. She collapses with Sombra's image in the mirror, concluding part 1. In issue 18, it's revealed to the girls, as well as the audience, that Celestia traveled to a universe where Sombra was a good guy and Luna and Celestia were evil.
A dire situation made only worse by the fact that our Celestia's constant universe hopping was starting to merge the worlds together. In essence, she was opening a door that would allow the evil sisters to invade our Equestria. So once again, it's the main six and the elements to save the day.
Or it would be if the main six could actually lay a hoof or land a spell on evil Celestia and Luna. You see, it turns out that the evil Celestia and Luna and our Celestia and Luna are sort of connected. And this is where the Equestria 2 is the prime universe theory kicks in. You see, if Luna and Celestia, the alternate universe, are harmed in any way, the Celestia and Luna we know and worship also get hurt. However, if our Celestia and Luna are hurt, the evil Celestia and Luna are completely fine.
But do we actually see the good sisters getting hurt first? From what I remember, the few times it happened in the comic, the pain train was only moving in one direction. So what makes you so sure about that, voice?
Like I said earlier, Celestia, when she walks out of the mirror, looks like she's going to succumb to her injuries. But when we see evil Celestia, she looks perfectly fine and in peak physical condition. Not a scratch on her. My guess is that Celestia knows she can't harm her mirror duplicate without harming herself in the process. Otherwise, we would have seen evil Celestia in a similar condition. Basically, anything that happens to the Prime Universe versions of themselves affects every other version. For all we know from this battle, Principal Celestia could have gotten in a terrible car crash with similar injuries.
Yeah, and then there's the event at the climax of the story where the villainous Celestia does the required villainous betrayal and blasts her own sister in order to harm the other Luna to lure good Celestia into her world. That blast sent our world's version flying across the room. She hurt Luna. She hurt 2 Lunas. That is not okay.
I guess you could say the hurt has been doubled.
Not okay. Anyway, so we do see that the physical injuries only seem to travel in one direction, and I have to admit that does lend support to your theory, voice. But Celestia's assault does happen very early in the comic, before Twilight and her friends cross over with the elements. In fairness, it's not impossible to argue that both worlds weren't connected enough for both princesses to share pain. So what else would you have to support your idea?
Well, there is another theory that goes along with this, and that's if the universes swapped places. The Equestria we knew was originally the Prime Universe, and Equestria 2 remained just a mirror universe. But because of how many times Celestia used the mirror and the fact that items went missing when Celestia and Starswirl took objects from the other universe back with them, it's a possibility that Equestria 2 ended up as the Prime Universe.
Well, both worlds did share a lot of balance. According to the comic itself, whenever something happened in one world, either the exact would happen in the next, or the polar opposite would. In either case, things remained even. Like when Luna turned good in our world, she turned evil in the other.
Like in the deaths of Sombra. Now, the injury sustained by Celestia did occur before the elements passed through, so we wouldn't know if the death of a character would affect the outcome in this universe. But then we have the Sombra's deaths. One, a character death, the other, an actual death. In the Crystal Empire, it's kind of obvious that Sombra's dead, although some people say he might still be alive because the Horn survived, and he's probably running the local 7-Eleven with brutal efficiency. Handsome Sombra is still alive and well, but he had to kill his good half in order to restore balance to all the universes. So, one killing is a satisfying death of a monster, the other is a noble sacrifice of a hero.
What's interesting is that these two events did not happen at the same time. Whereas the pain inflicted upon one pony seemed to affect the other instantaneously, good Sombra seemed perfectly fine after his counterpart was blasted to pieces. Which does suggest the flow of cause and effect doesn't go from the good sister's world to the other. Things were only put in order when Sombra did so himself.
Which lends more fuel to the fire of the Equestria we knew never being the Prime Universe to begin with. Either that or the universes switched before Nightmare Moon's return. So, CC, do you think there's credence to this theory despite it being of comic origin?
Honestly, I'm not sure. The pieces that do fit together seem to be making a very specific picture towards your argument, but there's still so much we don't know. Maybe the Equestria we all grew to know and love is really just a variation of a completely different timeline of events. But then maybe the other world was just another branch of an entirely different world. I mean, are we even the real us? Or somewhere out there, is there another CC and Voice having a totally different conversation? Are they the originals, or are we? There's so many different worlds, so many different possibilities. How do you even tell? Voice? Voice, I'm scared. Hold me.
Relax, you're probably just overthinking the whole multiverse thing because Equestria Girls 2 is in theaters soon. Ooh, that reminds me. I better get to work on some other comic stuff. I have a certain comic that needs to be torn on a new one. Anyways, do you at home think the multiverse theory holds water, or are we just overthinking a kid's comic?
Whatever your thoughts, post them in the comments below, and be sure to visit Voice of Reason's channel while you're at it. Thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna go sulk in an existential quandary of self-doubt and fear for a bit, and as always,
stay pony, my friends.